me something?
What do you know about Wakanda?
It's a third world country. Textiles, shepherds, cool outfits.
All a front. Explorers have searched for it. Called it El Dorado. They looked for it in South America. But it was in Africa the whole time.
Hi guys, welcome back. Hope you're all having a great day. So, I've just got back from seeing Black Panther and I thought I would post up a review with my thoughts. So first things first, straight off the bat, this is not, and I repeat not, a spoiler review. I won't be going into anything too deep, certainly nothing that hasn't already been covered off in trailers or anything that you could infer from trailers. I'll post a separate spoiler-filled video after this one, which I'm really looking forward to sharing with you all. To give you an idea of structure up front, I'm going to try and break this review down into a few parts, focusing on story and world building and the characters, the theme and tone of the movie, maybe go into the music and things, and, you know, obviously provide my thoughts on Black Panther as a whole. So, without further ado, here's my review of Marvel Studios' Black Panther. Enjoy. So quite often reviewers may use words like bold to express an approach which challenges their expectations of a movie. And sometimes this can be interpreted as a politely negative appraisal. I really hope that you'll bear with me when I say that this is a bold movie. Not because it challenges expectations, but because it delivers on them without shying away from controversial and complex subjects, and delivers a maturity we've not yet seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Arguably, for the first time, this feels like a Marvel movie which will resonate as much with mature audiences as it does with the younger generation, if not more so. Racial diversity and representation in this movie has been celebrated in the media, and rightfully so. But what struck me today in the theatre was the diverse age groups coming to see this movie. Not one generation went unrepresented in the theatre this morning, and for a movie about a comic book character, that must surely speak volumes about what this movie represents to all communities. Having just left the cinema at the time of pulling all this together, it's fair to say that I'm still trying to take it all in, but I can comfortably say this. Marvel and Ryan Coogler have absolutely knocked it out of the park with this movie. It's a rich, deep, and heartfelt piece of storytelling for what seems on the surface to be a superhero action movie, and I love it. Without going into spoilers, Black Panther takes place only weeks after the events of Captain America Civil War, so everything that went down in that movie is still fresh in the eyes of T'Challa, who is both the Black Panther and King of Wakanda. The movie does really well to establish the kingdom and the reasons for their isolation to an audience probably unfamiliar with the backstory. I'll be honest and confess that I've never read a Black Panther comic, but I'd say that really early on in the movie, it gave me a good understanding, albeit brief, understanding of their history and why they are where they are. The world of Wakanda has a really unique feel to it, merging the styles and architecture of their ancient past with the technology that defines the kingdom as the El Dorado of Africa, according to Unity's Claw. This merging of technology and tradition is a theme which runs through the whole movie, from the costumes to rituals to pretty much everything in the movie. And this makes the world feel real and believable. The score is superb and blends sort of the swirling, triumphant orchestral set pieces we're familiar with from other Marvel movies with this sort of earthy percussion, which brilliantly captures the music and rhythms you might expect of Wakanda's sort of tribal roots. And again, all of this sort of adds to the tone and feel of the movie, making it feel genuine and sort of thematically complete. So obviously, Chadwick Boseman plays the Black Panther, and although he gets pretty well established in Captain America: Civil War, this movie focuses a lot more on T'Challa the King. There's a line in the trailer voiced by T'Challa's father, T'Chaka, and he tells his son, "It's hard for a good man to be a king." And I think that quote absolutely establishes really well Black Panther's arc for this movie. He's still a badass superhero, but he's also now king. And the movie really tries to explore what that means to the character of T'Challa. Alongside Boseman is basically a who's who of black acting talent. And the cast is basically huge. You might think that these are bit parts and that they say a word here and there, but actually this movie does a really remarkable job of not only introducing these characters, but for most of them actually developing their characters over the course of the movie, which is pretty astonishing. It really is. And it is surprising the extent of screen time which is given to the supporting cast. Rather than sort of sticking with the safe, in inverted commas, option, and sort of flooding the scenes with Black Panther beating people up, the supporting cast are really given the opportunity to shine. Lupita Nyong'o, Danny Gurira, and Letitia Wright are sort of three actors which feature most, getting as much screen time, if not more in some cases actually, than Chadwick Boseman himself. I think in this regard, I think Black Panther sets the benchmark for not only having sort of a predominantly black cast, but by writing these strong female roles for positions which only a few years ago would probably have been reserved for T'Challa's man-pals. Andy Serkis, obviously, he reprises his role as Ulysses Klaue. Since the events of Age of Ultron, he's made some self-improvements, which you'll probably have seen in the trailers. Serkis gets a lot more screen time since his first outing in the MCU. And we see a bit more of Klaue's twisted personality come through. When we see him in Age of Ultron, he's just sort of a dirty arms dealer. But in this movie, he's got there's a real dark sense of humour, and a malevolence to his presence. The way he holds himself. And then you've got Michael B. Jordan's Eric Killmonger, who's the sort of the big bad of the movie. We've seen trailers tease him in the sort of golden variant of the Black Panther suit, which the internet tells me means that he is the Golden Jaguar. Again, my apologies because I've not read any of the comics. But Killmonger's backstory and his arc in this movie are both really compelling and incredibly emotionally charged. He's, as a character, he's certainly challenging the MCU villain throne, which I think most people would agree is currently occupied by Tom Hiddleston's Loki. But I'll save a lot of this for the spoiler review. But Jordan's performance of this character is outstanding, and Killmonger makes for an absolutely phenomenal villain. He's brilliant. So as I said, I've only seen this once, so I'm still trying to take it all in. But my first impressions, I'm going to give Black Panther a solid 9 out of 10. Not only does it feel like this movie breaks new ground, not just in the MCU, but cinema more broadly, I think. There's a whole host of reasons why this movie is brilliant. The vision and realization of Wakanda is uncompromised, and it really brings the kingdom to life. It's brilliant. The cast deliver brilliant performances across the board. The tone is absolutely spot on. I think some people probably thought that Thor Ragnarok maybe had a bit too much comedy, but equally you don't want a movie to be too somber. This movie balances just enough humour without overpowering sort of the deeper subjects that are being explored, and that's really masterfully done, I think. It's exciting, it's thought-provoking, it's slightly emotional at times, which I was surprised by. All in all, it's an absolute triumph, and I would urge you, please, go and spend your money on this movie if you haven't already. It's absolutely brilliant.
The revolution will be live.
So I hope you enjoyed that video review. If you did, please feel free to drop a like or subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. Also, feel free to put your comments below, though please remember this is a non-spoiler review, so don't ruin it for anyone that hasn't seen it yet. Thanks again, guys. Hope you have a great day, and see you next time.